Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jerome here at Just Jerome Around It. Okay, this video is going to be a little bit different from all the other ones. I try to kind of keep it diverse like I told you and switch things up. And as we're aware, it's November. And November is a big campaign in the UK. I think it's worldwide for men's mental health, you know, and they do either they grow a moustache and do 60k walking for the entire month, or you can do both. I'm not growing a moustache. No, that's not my thing. But I already did my 60k. I think I'm around 80 actually, to be honest, and it's only the 8th because I do 10,000 steps a day, maybe sometimes more, depending on myself and the weather. But this subject is very, very important. A lot of men suffer from this. I'm going to talk about from my experience and how I overcame some certain things. I debated doing this because I felt it's very personal and it's not something you want to share with the entire world, but at the same time, there's a lot of people out there struggling. And I feel that if I can help just that one person to overcome whatever they feel inside, then I feel that I've accomplished something. And I feel that it would be good. That's why I'm doing this video. It's nothing to make people feel sorry for me or try to kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what people's mindset is, but it's nothing about trying to make people like have pity. It's just me telling you what I experienced. Please understand that this is my life, and you can judge all you want and you can say what you want, but there's a lot of things that people don't know about me. My demeanour might come across strange to certain folk. I might come across closed off or opinionated. I am who I am. I can change, but I don't see the real reason why I should change. Unless something drastic happens in my life that I feel that I need to change, then I will do it. But until then, I will stick to who I am. And I'll keep being the person who I am because it served me well in my life and it's got me to this point. So, this is a toughie, I'm telling you, it's not easy. So, November, you know, it's a fitting month to put this campaign because for me, November is probably the worst month of all months in a year. I would have to go back to when I was like 15 years old. I don't know if my sisters know this or my family know this because I don't know if I've mentioned it to them or in passing or not. That's why I'm a wee bit nervous making this video because there's some things that a lot of people don't know about me and I just think that I've got to do it. So I'm going to do it. When I was 15 years old, I was still in high school in Scotland and I was doing my examinations. It was just the start of the exams. And I remember my mum sitting in the kitchen. I was making some food and she was sitting just on a stool or chair and she was just talking to me at the same time. And she was telling me how much that she loves me and she cares about me and she's proud of me. And she wants me to be better than her. That was the one thing that my mum used to say a lot and it kind of upset me because I didn't even feel that I measure up to her. And I still don't to this day. For the people who knew my mother, they will tell you the same. She was a different level of a person. And there's not many people like that in the world nowadays. I'm going to cry here. I don't want to do it. Just let me get my shit back together. Right. So, we were in the kitchen and we were talking. It just felt like a normal, casual conversation. But then it turned a wee bit different. And she said that, you know, I will always love you, you know. And I was just like, why are you saying all this? And she's like, because I want to ask you something. So bear with me here, guys. I'm 15 years old. I'm doing my exams. And then I said, what do you need? And she wanted me to help her kill herself. Like an assisted suicide. And I didn't know what to say. All I felt was my whole inside just collapsed inside me. And I just didn't have any... I had no way to kind of to get this out. I know I couldn't talk to anybody. I had to keep it to myself because if I mentioned it, then obviously other social services or the schools will get involved, and I just didn't want that because it was hard enough as it was. So I kept it to myself. I got angry at my mum. I yelled at her a bit. I didn't cook anymore. I just left the food. I turned everything off and I just left the kitchen and went to my room. I shut the door and just lay on my bed looking at the ceiling, trying to make sense of what my mum just asked me to do. And I couldn't put it into words, like what I should feel or what I should think. I went the next day like nothing happened. My mum talked to me like nothing happened, that she didn't say anything. And from that moment I just felt I couldn't talk to anybody about this. So I didn't tell my friends, I didn't tell my family. And I just held it close to myself. For the last years of high school, that's what I went through. I kept it to myself. I dated some girls, they say I was kind of depressing because I broke up with me because of that. But it's because I had that carrying with me and I didn't have any capacity or anyone to reach out to tell, to speak to. So it was all on myself. That was my first experience with somebody who was dealing with mental health and suicidal issues and tendencies. And for me, it was difficult because I could see somebody who was struggling, but there was nothing I could do about it. But because she asked me that simple thing, I started to become angry and I changed my personality. I started to become more, I had to do it. I didn't stay home all the time. I always went to stay with friends. I was barely home. I ran around with the bad crowd sometimes. I just was so vacant. And that was my reason, because it was my only way to stay away from home and to hear such talk. So we're going to fast forward now to the point where it got to 1997. There was a huge dispute in my home. My mother was there and her partner at the time and my brother and my cousin. And there was a kind of, some words said that caused a bit of unrest, and then there was some fight, and then after that my mother went to bed. This is my life, guys, so it's really difficult. And then I just thought that I need to be aware of what's going on. Mum obviously has those feelings from the past, so I went around the house and around the kitchen and anywhere that I knew she had her medication, and I took all of it. As much as I could find, I took it all and I put it under my mattress in my bedroom so that she couldn't find it. Because I feared what would happen, if something would happen. It just felt so, I don't know why I did it. I just knew that I had to do it, and I did. But unfortunate for me, I wasn't successful in that. She found one. She had one pack of medicine, and she managed to take them all. And I didn't know that she had them until over an hour and a half later, when I went in the room to check and see if she was alright, but she was like sleeping, and the breath, I checked the breath, the breathing was very faint, and I put my hand over the mouth to check for the airflow, and it was very, very like bad. It was not much. And then I started panicking and I started looking around on the bed and see if I could find it, and I put my hand under the pillow, and then I found the pack of the pills. I called an ambulance. I told my brother I've got to call an ambulance. Calling an ambulance took a long time to get to. It was 30 minutes to get there. And by that time when they got there, they got her off the bed, turned her on the side, tried to pump, and then I just told them, don't waste your time. That's exactly the words that come out of, just don't waste your time. It was difficult because most people lose people, parents, siblings, family members, it could be anyone, best friends. What makes my situation a bit different is I tried to stop it from happening. So for me, when I didn't succeed in stopping it, I felt like it was a failure on my part, that I failed, that I carried that with me for almost the rest of my life, that I didn't do enough, that I could have done more, but it just wasn't meant to be. And after experiencing that, I just become numb and cold. I didn't cry. It took until Mum's burial, until we had to lower the casket. That was the first time I cried. And I didn't let go of the rope. So I get rope burn because I didn't want to let go. Because I knew that was it. This is the end. This is the final bit. This is where the curtains close. And it's not easy losing somebody, but it's much harder when you had that person and you felt that you could stop it and you didn't. You failed that. And you carry that with you. It took me 7 years to go over that. It took me 7 years to forgive myself for that. And in that time, I became a horrible person. I look back at who I was and I think, I was despicable. I was not a nice person. I treat people like shit. I didn't give a fuck about what people thought. I was like, fuck the world. That's where I felt. I felt like, man, why the fuck should I care? I get dealt a shit hand and everything. So I don't give a fuck about what everybody else has got or how they feel. I thought like, if they can suffer just like I did. That was my mentality. That's the way I thought. And it didn't help. it made things worse. And thinking back on that, it just makes me disappointed in the person I am. But it made me want to be a better human being. And the person that you're sitting in front of you now is a better human being. I believe so. I believe I've took all these aspects and I've changed a lot. I mean, tragedy does make a person, you know. It either defines you or it breaks you. You can either just crawl into a hole, or you can just use it as a way to elevate yourself and springboard yourself up to a higher level. You're not better than people, but you just learn to deal with it. And to my people out there, my friends and colleagues and everybody who know me, people, even the people who don't know me, people who are watching this video, I can tell you one thing: even when you lose somebody, I'm not going to lie to you like everybody else and say it's easy. It gets easier. I'm not going to lie about that. It doesn't get easier. Because as years go on, more and more of those memories fade. More and more of those things that you remember go away. You forget about the scent, the voices. Nowadays, people are luckier because they have mobile phones, they make videos all the time, constantly, they have photographs all the time. Me, I don't even remember what my mother sounds like. And that's a hard thing for me, and it hurts a lot. I don't remember what my mum sounds like. I know what scent she has because I remember the perfume she wears. I know what kind of sweater she used to wear. But when you don't remember the sound of their voice, that's hard. And also to feel that hug, the love and touch from a person that's so close to you, like your mother, it's something that you miss and you'll always miss. So I'm not going to tell people that it gets easier. I'm going to tell you that you just have to learn to manage. That's the only thing you can do, is just learn to manage. Your life is going to become this jigsaw puzzle with one piece that's going to be missing. And the only thing that you can do, or I suggest that you don't do, is try to fit something in that place. Nothing will ever fit in that puzzle piece or that hole anymore. Nothing. You can't fill it with alcohol. You can't fill it with drugs. You can't fill it with anything. Anything you try to put in there, in that piece of the puzzle, will break the rest of the puzzle. So at the end of that, you will destroy everything else by trying to fix that one part that's broken. So the only thing you can do is just accept that that's going to be missing. And just move on. Just remember who she was, or who they were, and just, that's the only thing you can do. Just remember who they are. Carry those memories, you know, not the bad ones. You can remember those if you want to, but it doesn't serve you anywhere. Celebrate the life that they had and the person that they were. And remember that you are a reflection of them. So the things that you do, they reflect from her. All the things that you say, the knowledge, everything that she's given you, or they've given you, you have to pass it on. You don't discard that. You're part of your genetic makeup. And I mean, I was lucky enough to live with my mother for 18 years, or 17 years. I had 17 great years with my mum. And I wouldn't give them up for anything in the world. So mental health is very, very distinct, you know. It's a subject that a lot of people are scared to talk about. Emotions are very much, no, men are supposed to be like tough, you know, not cry. Man, I was watching a movie yesterday, The Free Guy, a comedy for goodness sake, with Ryan Reynolds, and I love it. And I think he's my man crush, Ryan Reynolds, man. I love this man, he's awesome. And it's a comedy, but it has a lot of heartful moments in it. And I can tell you there's one part in it I almost cried. I mean, I was there. I was actually beating up in the eyes. I was about to cry, and I thought to myself, damn, I'm going to cry here. I thought, hold it in, you know. All because of a movie. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. It's your emotional attachment to things. It means you're human, you know. You have passion, you're compassionate. You show these things by your reaction to things around you. So I'm not going to veer off track. I've got one more instance, or two more instances. One I really don't want to talk about because it's not my instance to talk about, even though it's closely related to my family and it had a huge impact in our whole family. So I'm not going to go into details about it, but all I know is it leveled our family. It obliterated my family. And I'm proud of my sister to be able to get back up on her feet and do what she's doing right now. There's no one I can be more proud of in my life than my sister for what she's done. She showed me that strength can come from anywhere, because I don't know how I would deal with it. I don't think I would. So I'm not going to go into that subject, because that subject is very, very, very personal. Not only to myself, but as my sister's story to tell, not mine. But I have one more story to share. And that's about when I lived in Estonia. I was dating a girl. We used to work together, a colleague. I don't really date colleagues. It's not my thing. I just think that it causes a lot of conflict, or if it doesn't work out, then it become a lot of tension. And we used to go out for drinks quite often at the bar and stuff like that, and have a laugh, and we had all our own little inside jokes and carrying on. She was a bit dippy and she was sweet at the same time, but she was really intelligent, but she had her dippy moments. So we were out drinking one of the evenings after work, and she asked me a question like, why did you never ask me out? And I didn't know what to say, because she was very straight like that. And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know why. Do you want to go out? And she said, yeah, sure. And I said, well, we're out now. She said, no, I mean like dinner or movies and stuff. And I said, well, we can do that. It's not a problem. So I ended up going out for some food, having drinks, having a laugh. We did that a few times after work. Then we became closer. We didn't tell anybody about what was going on with us. We just kind of kept it to ourselves, because it was our thing, you know, and it was not everybody else's business. And one evening we were together on the Friday, and then after I went home, but we arranged to meet each other on the Saturday evening to go and watch a movie. When Saturday came, I called. There was no answer. I sent messages, no answer. Started to get annoyed. I was like, okay, fine. Well, Sunday came, still no answer, no replies to my text messages, no answer, no calls. I thought maybe she was away business with her boss. But I thought, well, she would have told me. But I said, fine, we'll just leave it. I'll see her when we get to work on the Monday. And then Monday came, no answer. On the Monday night, I met some friends. We were in Estonia. We were out having some drinks and stuff like that. But I was still annoyed about the fact she hadn't replied to my messages and she hadn't returned any of my calls. And then we sat there, and they could see I was pissed off, and they asked me what was wrong. And I said, well, Lydia's not replying to my messages. She's not taking my calls. She's not responding to the calls. And they just looked at each other. And I said, look, guys, if you know something, I mean, talk, tell me, speak up. And then they started like whispering each other's ear. And I said, look, guys, if she's seeing somebody else or she's dating someone else, please tell me, because I don't need this. This is just nonsense. And they said, come on out for a drink, for a cigarette. I said, you know I don't smoke. I said, come out anyway, come outside. And I just thought, all right, whatever. So I went outside with them, and we're standing there, but they could see I was so pissed off. And they were trying to kind of like calm me down a wee bit. And they said, look, Jerome, we don't know how to tell you this. And I said, look, if she's seen someone, just tell me, you know, it's not a big a deal. And they said, Lydia's dead. And I didn't know what to say. I thought they were joking. I was like, shut up. Like, no, Jerome, we're not joking. And I said, how did it happen? And then they said that was one of their ex-boyfriends came around to our house and wanted to borrow some money, as far as they know, and then he killed her because she wouldn't give the money. She invited him in because they were closer in the past, so she didn't feel any threat, and she killed her. He stabbed her like 15, 16 times. And she was my colleague. She was a good friend, and actually I really liked her. And I think that, to be honest, we really got along well, and I believed that we would have had something very good together. But that was taken away from me at such speed that I don't even know how to kind of put into words what I felt afterwards. I wanted to leave them, the guys, they wouldn't let me leave. They said, Jerome, come and stay. And I said, I want to go. You can't be alone. And I said, I want to be alone. And they said, no, it's not good. So they convinced me to stay and sit in the bar with them, and they tried to talk to me and kind of keep my mind in a good state of mind. And it kept wandering anyway. So I just said, look, guys, I gotta go. I can't be here. I just don't feel. And they said, okay, well, look, give us a call if you need anything, and keep your phone on, and, you know, don't hide. You know where we're here. You know we're here for you. And going home, I just was playing everything to the emotions, like, what the fuck is, why me? I said, what the fuck is going on? Why do I deserve this shit? I said, it's hard enough when you just lose everything else, but then you get thrown that shit and do it, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck, you know? And after that, I shelled up. I just became closed off. I didn't want to speak to people. I was seeing girls and I didn't care. I was dating girls and I didn't care. I just clung on to things. There was no love from me anymore. I didn't even feel that I wanted to give any love. I didn't feel that I wanted to open up to anyone properly. I was just frustrated, angry, again. And it was a very difficult situation for me, because I felt I was robbed, something that I had never really got a chance to fully experience in terms of, like, relationship wise, how it would have turned out. Like I said, I'm not making this video for people to feel sorry for me. I'm just trying to tell you what I've experienced in my life and how I managed to maintain and control and get over that. Yeah, you'll see me crying about it right now, but I think anybody who has to talk about their past will cry if they had to talk about things it's like this, because it's not easy. It's very difficult. And even now I feel it very difficult. So we're going to fast forward to when I was in Spain. And I lived in Spain. I was working in Gibraltar. It was 2018. I just finished my shift. It was December 31st, New Year's Eve. And I had been going through so much shit. And I just thought, oh, fuck, I'm done with everything. I'm just done. I'm finished. I can't do this anymore. So when I finished my job, I clocked out and I started walking to the Gibraltar town centre. Instead of going to Spain to my apartment, I started walking towards Gibraltar. And I had only one intention on that night, or that day. That was to kill myself. I wanted to take my life. I decided I had enough. I just don't want to be alive anymore. I don't want to feel how I feel anymore. So I started walking towards the taxi to take me up to the viewpoint on top of Gibraltar, the rock area. And I planned to jump. That was my plan. Because it was a big drop. So I thought, fuck it. I'm sure I'll not survive that. I will not survive this. And as I was walking towards the taxi rank, my phone rings. And it was my sister. Not going to know which one, but my sister called. I was ignoring the call at the beginning, but I thought, I need to answer this. And I was walking, I answered the phone, and she said, hi son, how are you? And I said, I'm good. She said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just walking home. So I lied to her. I wasn't going home. I was going to taxi rank to kill myself. And she said, I just wanted to call now to wish you Happy New Year, but we'll try and call later on in the evening because we'll be busy and we don't know how it will be with internet and everything else. You know how crazy it can be. Like, she still thinks we live in the year 1990s, so when everything's stuck on modems and stuff like that. So yeah, she thought that it would be a fucking disaster, and it's easy to reach each other nowadays because obviously technology is advanced since then. I stopped at that moment and I turned around and I started to walk towards home. For me, that was the sign that was my wake-up call. Jerome, stop what the fuck you're doing and go home. Don't be silly. Go home. So I was talking to her a little bit more while I was walking towards the border, and then I told her we'd talk tomorrow or in the evening. Whatever happens, we will talk. So as soon as I got home in my apartment in Spain, I get in the house, on my Facebook, took away my profile picture, put up a black picture, put up a black cover photo, and just shut off for the night. I turned off my phone messages and I just ignored all my phone messages, put it on silent. I didn't answer anybody's calls, messages, nothing. Just lay in the dark in my apartment, contemplating or thinking about what I had just thought about one end of my life. And I thought about how selfish I was and how I could get to that point, knowing that I had lost two very important people in my life to suicide and what effects it had on my family. And I watched people crumble because of that. And I thought to myself, I'm going to add to that grief by doing that. I was going to add to that pain, that suffering. I couldn't do that because I don't think even they would cope with that. And I realised how selfish I was and how self-centred it was. And I was disappointed in myself. I was disappointed in me and my thought process and how selfish I was being by thinking how I was thinking. So the next day I woke up, I started to respond to people's messages. I talked to my sister, I told her that I was going to kill myself. I told my best friend the same. And he said that if you kill yourself, I'll bring you back and kill you myself. That was his response. So a lot of people reached out then, and it made me realise that I wasn't alone. That if I need to talk, just talk. If I need to speak to someone, reach out. And I never did before. I just kept everything to myself. I thought I could manage all these things on my own, but I had so much in there that I couldn't manage on my own. There was too much baggage in there. And I felt that the straps were breaking. So I went to my work on the Monday. I took my boss to the studio, or the recording studio, and I sat him down and I told him that I was going to kill myself on New Year's Eve. And he just looked at me and he didn't know what to say. But then he started to talk to me. And he was happy that I approached him and I told him. And I felt good that I told him because I felt that I could actually speak to this guy. I can tell him these things and without feeling judged or being criticised, knowing that I'm not going to lose my job. He told me I take some time off. And also he told me to speak to the HR because we have therapists that we can speak to. So I went to the HR, we sat down and I said that I would need to speak to someone about, and I explained to them the situation, what had happened, and they suggested I could either use a private retainer or a health insurance. And I took the private retainer that they have. And I got to say, this guy changed my life. He really did. He brought me back from the dead, so to speak. He made me more complete. He made me answer questions that I had not answered myself, to look deep into my past, to what triggered all the things that had happened and how I feel and why I am the way I am. So he was the person who brought me back, who basically reconstructed Jerome. And he actually gave me building blocks to build upon that to make me into a better version of myself. Being able to talk to him was probably one of the best things that ever happened in my life. And I'm going to say his name, Benjamin. If you see this video, I want to say thank you for all your help and your support and for getting me to the point where I am now. I can't thank you enough, honestly. I really can't. So, what I want to know, or what I want to tell everyone is, life is hard, it's challenging, it's supposed to be. There's no manual for life. There's no instructions. We just have to do the best that we can in the situations that we're placed in. We have to manage ourselves the best we can with the situations that we've faced. A lot of people will look at you and they will judge you just based on your looks. They will judge you on the way that you act or how you speak to someone or how your opinion on something, but they don't really know you in a level which matters the most, and that's the inside, the inner side, the inner self. And that's what I'm showing you guys right now. I'm exposing myself right now. I'm giving you my inner self because I have to say that we can survive anything. The mind is it's a powerful tool. It really is. It can either make you or break you, but it's up to you because it's your mind. So either you want to mend it or you want to destroy it. You can let it destroy you. You can let your thoughts destroy you, or you can just manage those thoughts, put them into positions where you can make sense of them all. There is no easy way to do things in life. There is only just doing things. You will make mistakes. You will fuck up majorly. You will cause unrest. You might, I don't know, you might make people happy. You might like rekindle something in someone. You might give them inspiration to be something more. You might open their eyes to things that they don't see. In the end, we're only here to better ourselves and to also better the people around us. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a better person for not only myself, but for my family, for my friends, and the people who consider me friends, for the ones who welcome me into their life. I want you to know that I'm thankful for that. And you guys have been inspiration to me also. I mean, you guys are the building blocks of me. I'm not just Jerome. I'm not just my father, Jerome, or my mother, Catherine. Those two people plus myself, plus every single person who has made an impact in my life. I have taken elements of your being, and I use that for me. Because you inspire. The people around me are the ones who inspire. These are my fuel guys. These are the ones that keep me going. I can keep myself going, but you need extra fuel for that as well. You need the people around you to kind of give you that extra boost. You're my nitros. But I ain't no Fast and Furious because I ain't too fast and I ain't furious. I'm just chilled. So let's just leave it at that. But I love you all. And thank you guys for watching. And a bit of an emotional mess right now. And yeah. Remember that if your mother is still alive, give her a call. Even send her a message. If you can see her, go see her. Don't even say anything as soon as you get in the house if you go and see her. The first thing you do is just give her a hug and then tell her you love her. That's it. That's all you need to do. Do it for everybody. Do it for the ones who have lost. Because that's what you should do. I love you all, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace. And thank you for watching.